All right, we're back in audio form. How you guys doing?
Yeah, so we're doing an audio episode because we got a little COVID situation brewing here, so just want to make sure everybody's healthy and not dying before we go back to the studio. You
Yeah,
know,
of course.
that'd be
And it's the responsible thing to do. If you guys have been, in contact with anybody that tests positive, or if you yourself test positive, just be a decent human being and quarantine. It's it's not that hard.
exactly. So we're going to talk about what we need to talk about, Super Bowl, which is why we're doing
Oh
this, because
wait,
we wanted to talk about the Super Bowls.
I don't think
You know,
people know who we are. We're specializing in nothing. We just went right in it. Didn't even say an intro.
I mean they're in the channel. They know who we are. They see the title of the video.
Yeah. Well.
You know, I'm Carlos Perez. This is Omar Reyes. You can't see us, but you can hear us.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. That's the intro. So Super
That
Bowl.
is Super Bowl
Who you
Sunday.
like? What stories do you like going into this game? Let's get into this.
I mean, so all right. First, Patrick Mahomes. He's a clown. Um, Favorite thing to come out of Super Bowl media day or whatever they're calling it is when he's like going up against the quarterback in his 150th Super Bowl. I don't know if you saw it. It was pretty
Yeah.
funny. Um, yeah, it's such an interesting Super Bowl because I can't pick a favorite. It's like I know who I want to win.
Who do you want to win?
I want Tampa to win.
Mm.
It's I know that like a part of me, yes, is still upset about what happened with Tom Brady and the Patriots, the fact that he left us. But at the same time, I've been a Patriots fan for the entirety of my life, and that's basically been the entirety of Brady's run with the Patriots. So it's like as much as I am a Patriots fan, I am also a Tom Brady fan. So it's kind of it's I'm in a weird state where I want him to succeed, but I hate that he's succeeding without my team.
I respect that. Same thing here. I mean, I don't want Brady to win because I'm a bitter Patriot fan and hope they get blown out by 50. However, it is tough to pick a favorite in this situation just because
The teams are almost like completely balanced in terms of like the head to head, because if you think about it, the better offense is should be Kansas City in terms
Kansas
of
City
explosivity,
is the better offense.
but the better defense is Tampa. So it's kind of like the better defense is matching up with the better offense, and the kind of like the step down from that in terms of offense and defense are still really good, and they're kind of having
Well,
that
I mean,
head-to-head,
Tampa
so
Bay's
it's
defense is predicated on stopping the run. They got the number one rushing defense in the league, which is why
yeah, but
their
they've also been
passing
getting
defense is so inflated. Those numbers, but they're the 21st against the pass. So that's what Kansas City's gonna do to you, and they don't. They have they have two safeties that are rookies because their starting safeties got injured. I don't know if they're going to be playing come Super Bowl Sunday.
they are playing.
And you still have a one. Don't get me wrong, Sean Murphy Bunting is a really good cornerback, but first year got away with a bunch of holding calls last game against Green Bay.
Really, really
I
bad.
don't know if that's going to happen in the Super Bowl. And then they got the rookie corner on the other side, so they could get torched.
My thing is, the other thing they have is a really strong defensive line, and they're going to make Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable if that's even possible.
I mean,
that boy could throw it anywhere from in any kind of situation. So it's like it's difficult in that sense for that defensive line. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure 2 offensive linemen for Kansas City are out.
Yeah, so Kansas City's offensive line is really, really beat up, and that's kind of what's probably looking like going to be the great equalizer for this game. You have Mike Remmers, who's playing left tackle, who hasn't played left tackle since like 2016 or some crazy year like that. So you got a bunch of guys. It's like kind of just a makeshift offensive line. Their center is in COVID protocol because of the whole haircut situation. I don't know if you heard about that.
I didn't. What?
So, which I don't understand how this happened. So apparently 20 Kansas City Chiefs players were scheduled to get a haircut by this barber. And halfway into this guy's haircut, they found out that he had COVID. So they had to shut the whole operation. There's even a picture of homie. He's got half his hair cut, like split right down the middle. So they pulled them as soon as they could. So 2 players apparently had already got their cuts by this barber, so they're in COVID protocol right now.
That is ridiculous.
It could have been a lot worse because Patrick Mahomes was scheduled to get a haircut from him.
I mean, so it could have been so much worse. But that is so bad. How do you not? You
don't get the test first. Like that's you don't wait for that to come in. Like you just
Also, like I'm assuming the barber had no idea, but like, damn, that is. I mean, you know, crazy. It thankfully, you know, it was kind of minimized because that would have been really bad. 20 players?
Yeah, 20 players, think including Patrick Mahomes.
At that point, do you think they would have postponed the Super Bowl?
I think you kind of have to with the COVID stuff. Yeah, there was talk about this a while ago with with Patrick Mahomes and concussion protocol. Like they should have postponed the thing if he couldn't go on the AFC Championship game.
Different.
Yeah, that's completely different because that's just regular football.
That's an injury, yeah.
But with COVID, I think you kind of have to, and they do have the because remember this is a while back before football season even started. They have the hotels and all the suites and stuff booked for the next month because of COVID. So they had to do anything they could.
The unfortunate part would have been like people who already bought like plane tickets and things like that. I guess they'll
live.
Yeah.
They'll
it's
be all right.
I mean, that kind of, like you said, it kind of equalizes things because, I think the biggest problem is gonna be the fact that Kansas City's O-line is depleted. So I feel like
and they're gonna have their hands full. Then Ndamukong Suh, Shaq Barrett, JPP, like they got a vicious front four.
Very. And that's why I'm saying that it's kind of like almost evenly matched in that sense. Obviously, if Kansas City is completely healthy, then that's just a completely different story. But that's crazy. I mean, and the thing is, you have to guard against the best tight end in football and one of the, maybe not the best receiver, but definitely the fastest receiver in the National Football League. So
definitely, they're one of the best pass catching backs. That's tough to say. In the league, Le'Veon Bell. So you got your hands full on a lot of different fronts.
So
but on the other side of the offensive side, you have Tom Brady has a ridiculous amount of weapons.
Too many.
Chris Godwin, Mike Evans.
Although Godwin's been dropping passes this postseason, man.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still somebody you got to cover.
I mean, definitely. You leave him open, he's gonna take advantage. There's no question.
And then obviously, Gronkowski is a player.
I feel like
football.
Gronk is gonna have like maybe 2 catches. One of them will be important. The other would be like insignificant.
There was a ridiculous stat on Godwin. It was he had 6 drops from 2017 to 2020 in total, and 7 drops in the playoffs this year. Like that's fucking crazy. I watched that stat. I was like, wow. I mean, it's first time going this deep in the playoff run. Mike Evans was all emotional and stuff going to it for the first time. They've done this before.
It's nice to see. Tampa's always been a team for the past couple of years that they were just like so close, but the turnovers, man.
They had
famous Jameis.
Yep, that was a huge problem. What's bothering me about this thing is, don't get me wrong, Tom Brady's great, the greatest quarterback ever, no argument there. But this whole thing that he went to a team that was loaded. Like it's really driving me crazy.
Yes.
All this Tom Brady nonsense.
Tom Brady went to another team.
It's like he went to the Panthers. You know what I mean? He went to a loaded team. Great defense, great offense.
I understand that, this year, COVID. This year you had you didn't have a preseason. You couldn't practice with people until the season kind of started. But that was every team pretty much. And I get that he went to a new offense but it's also turned into his offense almost. Like at the beginning of the year, you could see that he was struggling, and now, I mean, even Coach Arians said it's basically his offense. He's letting Tom coach, which is like basically saying, all right, whatever you already knew how to do, you'll just teach the other people how to do that, and you'll make sure they know how to do it instead of you kind of conforming to what this team was supposed to be. Now, don't get me wrong, you do have more explosive plays coming from him than you would when he was in New England, but that's also because of the weapons that he has. He had no weapon like that in New England since, you could argue since Moss.
Yeah,
and when
definitely.
Moss was there, Brady had an MVP caliber year. If he wasn't MVP, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, he was MVP with the 50 touchdown season.
Yeah, with the 50 touchdown season. So it's and the defense at the beginning of last year, it was like mediocre, but at the end of last year, it was a top 5 defense. So he went to a situation where the defense was already figured out pretty much. And then it was kind of just, putting in a quarterback that doesn't give the ball away. And it went from 9 wins to 11 wins. Or no, 7 wins to 11 wins. So
the whole thing is, what's that team going to look like next year? Because you got Devin White, who was franchise tagged. That's going to be free agent. Chris Godwin's going to be a huge free agent. And a lot of guys on that defense and offensive side of football, they need to get paid. So win or loss, that team's going to look real different next year.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like, because you can also make the argument that if they don't win the Super Bowl, their best chance at getting back to the Super Bowl is to stay on the team. 1-year deals. Getting...
Right, but I mean, some people want to get paid. You got Godwin coming off a rookie contract. He
don't
wants
get me
to get
wrong.
paid. He's not going to take I want to just win a chip. No, that's a guy that's probably going to want to get paid.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I still think their best receivers is Mike Evans,
but Mike Evans is getting old.
Yeah, but we'll this is all speculations. We have no idea how that team is going to look, like you said. That being said,
if my Madden Sim leagues have taught me anything, is once a player gets to 30, you kind of got to cut him loose.
And did they say that about Tom Brady as well?
Because
he wants to play past 45 now.
The quarterbacks all play until like they're 50 in Madden. It's ridiculous. Russell Wilson plays till like he's 82. It's crazy. But like the skill position players, once they hit 30, it's all downhill from there.
With all those hits that he be getting, I don't think he's making it to 82.
Don't get me wrong, he's like a 72, when he's there, but he's still there.
72 is still better than like half the quarterbacks in the league.
I'm pretty sure a one-legged Russell Wilson is better than a third of the quarterbacks in the league. So that goes without saying.
I'd believe it.
But back to
I'd also
the
pay to see that.
Bowl of Super.
Yeah.
You would pay to see him hop around. That'd be pretty. That would be pretty entertaining.
It'd be entertaining.
But I don't know. Let's see what else. What else storylines? So if you had to pick right now, you're going with.
I'm going with Tampa. Yeah, or as everybody Tampa, as everybody's saying, Tampa Bay. I feel like if they can get the stop they need, or if they can get any turnover, the amount of points they've scored off of turnovers this postseason alone is ridiculous. I think they've scored they've scored close to the maximum amount of points that you can get off of turnovers this postseason. So if they can get that turnover, I feel like they'll be able to capitalize on it, and that can be the difference maker in the game. But man, getting a turnover off of that offense, that's going to be tough.
It's going to be pretty tough. This whole kind of run that they've gone on has really just been put on the defensive shoulders, right? Their game against Green Bay, Tom Brady did everything in his power to send Aaron Rodgers to a Super Bowl. He really tried.
I don't know what
he really,
happened.
really tried.
I don't, like the first half of that game, he was magnificent, and then he just came out in the second half and was just like, you know what, let's give him an opportunity here because his team is obviously not helping him out right now. I think
part of it was play calling, right? You want to kind of step on the throat of Aaron Rodgers. You don't want to give him a chance to try to get back in the game. So they played really aggressive. I know one of the picks was a deep ball. He got picked up over the top. That's just something that happens when you take a shot like that. And then the other one over the middle to Mike Evans, he just overthrew him and tipped up, got picked. And then the other one, he was going to get hit, in the middle, and he threw it up. You know.
Yeah. When you're gonna throw down the middle and it's a little bit overthrown, 9 times out of 10 that's getting picked because that's gonna get tipped, and it's just there's somebody always underneath, which is the dangerous thing about a throw like that.
That defense kept them in the game after those 3 picks, and Green Bay is one of the better offensive lines in the league, and you saw what they were able to do. They were able to get to Aaron Rodgers, shake him, hit him. And
now,
then, got away with
what
some
I'll
holding
say
calls,
is
but,
Patrick Mahomes is a lot more mobile than Aaron Rodgers is at this point in time.
I honestly don't think that. Aaron Rodgers is
think so?
Just as mobile. I don't see any decline in his mobility.
But the question is, are there throws that Patrick Mahomes can make that Aaron Rodgers can't make?
I don't think so.
No? So then it's going to be a problem.
I think Aaron Rodgers is just as good as Patrick Mahomes and vice versa. I mean, this season proved it. The man is going to win MVP. Like
he is the MVP of the league. It's unfortunate. I think that if Aaron Rodgers would have gone to the Super Bowl, first off, we would have the State Farm Bowl, which is something I wanted to see last year.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
I wanted it. I mean, the storyline of being at home for the first Super Bowl ever at home, it's cool or whatnot, but imagine the commercials to come out of that. Would have been crazy. It would have been as good. It would have been as good.
I mean, going back to their first matchup, though, back to football. Going back to their first matchup, they could not stop Tyreek Hill. He put up 268 yards on him. He had almost 200 before halftime.
The question is, if you had to focus, obviously, if you have to focus on one of the two, Travis Kelce or, we just said his name. I'm blanking on it.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have to focus on one of them, it's who do you focus on? You know?
Yeah, and that's just kind of pick your poison in that sense. But I mean, they also do. This is what works in Tampa's favor. They also have one of the better linebackers in the league in Devin White, so you can kind of put Devin White in coverage. It depends what kind of formations they're running. But if you can put Devin White in coverage against Travis Kelce, see if that can kind of slow him down. But if you want to put a safety corner, we'll see.
I mean, Todd Bowles has shown up this postseason, so I expect.
Which is funny because at the beginning of the year they were calling for his job. One of my friends is a huge Bucks fan. He was talking about all the crazy stuff that was being said about Todd Bowles went out during this playoff run and got to shut all that up. And he's looking at head coaching gigs too. People are looking at it for that.
I mean, he's shown that he's more than capable at this point. I mean, obviously a coordinator job, but the Jets, I don't know. The Jets I just feel like it's been a tough position overall. But yeah, I think I have to go Tampa. I feel like they'll just capitalize on some of the opportunities. Not saying that Kansas City won't be able to, but the fact that their O-line is depleted, on top of the fact that, I think I saw they have 6 or 7 sacks in the postseason, the defensive line for Tampa Bay.
Probably sounds about right.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like that'll throw Patrick off his rhythm. Historically, if you look at all of Kansas City's games, for the most part, they always start off very slow. They did the same in the last Super Bowl. I feel like that won't necessarily be the same for Tampa, and I feel like that could be a factor.
I mean, historically, Tom Brady starts off slow in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know. This is such a tough matchup. It's so tough for me to say definitively who I think is gonna win. I'm going Tampa, but I would not be surprised in the slightest if Kansas City wins.
I don't know. I can't go against Kansas City. I don't know. I just think they got this.
Okay? You're talking about you being a bitter Patriots fan. I'm also a. I want the Patriots to still be the last team to have gone back-to-back.
Yeah,
champions.
Exactly.
So, like, I don't want Kansas City to win for that reason as well, because I don't want Kansas City to be the last team to go back to win back-to-back Super Bowls was Kansas City. No, they still have to mention the Patriots because we were the last ones to go back-to-back. So I that's another reason why I'm just like I don't want Kansas City to win.
But then it'll be like Tom Brady will be the last person to go back-to-back, and I don't want that either. So I'd rather have Patty be the.
Well, they don't say Tom Brady. They say they say the Patriots.
No, they're gonna say Tom Brady 1,000 times in the Super Bowl. That's literally something you can bet on. It's gonna be Tom Brady is the only quarterback to go back.
Tom Brady
Super Bowl.
is the oldest quarterback. Tom Brady did this and that.
Nonstop.
It's gonna be a lot of Tom Brady.
So I'm hoping.
I mean, you're gonna have to.
Patrick puts up 1,000 yards in a game, and they win this game. That's what I'm hoping for.
See, the best outcome could like for me is Tampa wins, but Brady doesn't play particularly well.
But they'll still say Brady's great.
No. But they give the MVP to somebody else. Like if Brady doesn't end up being the Super Bowl MVP, I feel like that's kind of like the best of both worlds kind of thing. Like it's not necessarily because of Brady, even though they're giving Brady all of the credit for the team's success. Even though again it's the defense.
Yeah, the defense has been playing out of their minds in this playoff run, but they're only going to talk about Brady because it's Tom Brady. Unfortunately.
Do you think after his 2 years he's going to re-sign with Tampa or he's going to go somewhere else?
I don't know.
You think he'll come back?
I don't think he'll come back. I don't want him back. I want Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Allegedly, we'll see if that's what all the mock drafts say is we take Mac Jones. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. I mean, so your pick is Kansas City Chiefs. My picks is
Kansas City
Tampa Bay
Chiefs.
Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm going to set up a nice little parlay, try to make some money off the Super Bowl.
Have fun with that.
Could be
Have fun with that.
Cause they're really cool, man. You could, bet like $5 and make like $500 off, depending on how your parlays are set up, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just I don't have good luck with that. I'm either always like one of the last people to, get a spot, or I just pick the worst spots possible. I'm terrible at this whole guessing game. I don't know. When it comes to the Super Bowl, I like to just try to enjoy actually enjoy the whole kind of festivity of it instead of things like that. Like other games, I might partake in something like that, but the Super Bowl, I want good food. I want a good halftime show. I want great commercials.
That's for the halftime show. That's crazy.
Bro, the Weeknd, what?
Who you got winning this year? I got the Weeknd winning halftime. Let's go put on a great performance.
I mean, he's been killing it.
Let's go Blinding Light.
Blinding Light is a fantastic song.
It is a banger. Blinding
Fantastic.
Light is a banger. Definitely is a banger.
And that's
honestly who I'm rooting for.
The Weeknd?
I'm rooting for the Weeknd this year. I'm just rooting.
If he doesn't play Blinding Lights, that's an L automatically.
But there's other hits.
No, he has a lot of hits.
I can't wait for the lineup to see where he's gonna go with it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of his songs, especially in the first album, were kind of depressing. So I don't know if he wants to go a depressing route. You know what I mean? Really get us all sad and cry at the Super Bowl, which I would be down for. I wouldn't be mad. Or if he wants to pull out the bangers. You know what I mean? I'm down for everything.
I mean, imagine he just goes to all his obscure songs, and because he's doing it, they just become popular out of nowhere because he's doing it in the Super Bowl, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, that song is great," even though it's obscure, and nobody gave two shits about it until now.
Well, he's probably gonna pull. I mean, I'd imagine it's gonna be the bangers. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be the bangers.
I mean, I was the other day I was thinking about the previous halftime shows. Last year was J-Lo and Shakira, which was good. It was fine.
It was cool. It was cool halftime.
You had the Shakira, you know.
Yeah,
it was great.
It had cheeks everywhere. There was cheeks there, cheeks here.
Cheeks everywhere. Shakira.
Some cheeks there.
Still got
some cheeks there. And you look over there, and what's that? Oh, some cheeks. And it was just cheeks.
The year before that, Maroon 5. That was.
Yeah, that was crazy. He just pulled his titties out in the middle of the show. He's like, "Fuck it, this isn't going well," and he just took his titties out. I mean, it was okay, Maroon 5. You don't disrespect it. You know what I mean? I don't remember it.
The thing is, I think he was sick or something because he just did not sound right.
He probably had COVID. Didn't even know it.
Didn't even know it. 2 years ago.
The reason why COVID got into the United States.
Damn. How dare he? And from there, I don't remember any of the other ones. I don't remember. What was it? Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga was in 2017.
Okay, yeah. And then which was all right. It was great. She got bangers.
She does have said bangers. You know,
then was it the Beyonce Bruno Mars, or was that because that was Super Bowl 50?
Sure.
Was the Beyonce Bruno Mars Coldplay?
No. So you had Maroon 5. I looked this up.
Okay.
So, you had Super Bowl, which also you have Maroon 5 with special guests Travis Scott and Big Boy. Okay.
Didn't even remember they were there.
Neither did I. I forgot about that one moment. And then before that was Justin Timberlake.
I forgot about JT. Yeah, in Minneapolis. I remember he did the Prince tribute.
He was in there. Brought back the home. Yeah, that was dope.
It was a good one. Yeah.
He has bangers, JT, man.
Yeah, JT is a good time.
Apparently he did Suit and Tie, Mirrors.
Suit and Tie is great.
Cry Me a River. He brought Sexy back at the Super Bowl.
Oh, in the Super Bowl?
Then after that was Lady Gaga. So it was JT, then Lady Gaga.
Okay, so JT,
and then before that was the Beyonce Bruno Mars featuring Coldplay. Coldplay featuring.
It was Coldplay featuring Beyonce and Bruno Mars.
Before that was Katy Perry.
I remember the Katy Perry one. That one was
that was Bruno Mars.
The Bruno Mars one was dope.
And then before that
was Beyonce. Yeah. You don't have to tell me, bro.
That 2012, apparently it was a sad year. They had Madonna there. Oof, that must have been tough.
Damn.
But damn, she had a special guest for days. She had LMFAO. It's back when they were like party rocking in the house. Then Nicki Minaj, MIA, CeeLo Green.
Oh my God.
She's like, I know y'all don't want to hear me. And then she just brought everybody out. That's crazy. The Black Eyed Peas.
So last decade. The Black Eyed Peas was what, 2010?
2011. 2010 was The Who.
Who?
Exactly.
All right, so I mean, you've had some good Super Bowl halftime performances in the last decade. Beyonce's notable because she turned the whole stadium off. Facts. And also Beyonce got bangers. Beyonce
turned the whole stadium black.
Yep. Bruno Mars, I think, might still be my favorite from this past decade.
I'll be honest with you, I don't remember a lot of these.
The Bruno Mars one was dope. Katy Perry, I remember she was on a big lion at some point for Roar, and that's all I remember.
Yeah, she was on a line.
Justin Timberlake's, as much as I like JT, his Super Bowl performance was kind of forgettable. I think
didn't he bring the homies in? He brought the homies, right?
He did bring the homies.
The homies came back. NSYNC came back. I remember. That was lit.
It was. But at the same time, I think the most memorable part, except for that, would be the fact that he came out with new shoes. The the Retro 3 Tinker Hack. So
looking at all these people, it was tough for a while, man.
Yeah.
Tom Petty.
Oh, you're talking
to hear Tom Petty.
Tom
Bruce
Petty,
Springsteen.
man.
Ugh. And then Prince was before that, so you had Prince, and then it just hit. Oof, it got rough after Prince.
Who wanted to follow up Prince? Nobody wanted to follow up Prince.
I guess we just stuck in the like oldies, because after that, Rolling Stones. Then after that was Paul McCartney.
I guess
The titty kind of changed the game. You know
it
what
did.
I mean?
Yeah.
The titty kind of changed the game, and it was a little stuff like, let's get some old white people out here that we're not going to pull the titties out before we start bringing these youngins back. And I think that's just what they did.
That Prince Super Bowl halftime show, I still watch it from time to time. It's just so good.
Twain? Ooh, this is tough. Sorry. That titty really changed the game, bro. And he doesn't get enough credit for it.
Who do you see next year? I want it so bad for... I think it's very possible if Kendrick Lamar drops his album this year, I think it's possible to see him in the Super Bowl next year.
Kendrick Lamar's never dropping this album. I'm just gonna keep
Don't
playing
say
with my
that.
emotions until
Don't
I
say that.
eventually end it, because it's just never coming out.
Just think about Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok. That'll keep you going. That's what keeps me going.
I guess that's what we're gonna have to root for.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah. So Super Bowl prediction. What's your final score? After it's all said and done, what do you think will be the
I
final
think
score?
It's going to be... Tampa Bay 36-32.
36-32. Interesting, because I believe I was trying to get the. So they have right now. They have them. They have the Chiefs as 3.5-point favorites right now. Oh, interesting. Final score for me. 145-3. Kansas City.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Tom Brady
definitely.
throws 22 pick sixes. I don't know if the math adds up for that.
Wait, so at that point, wouldn't Tom Brady be the MVP because he scored? He gave all those points to the Kansas City Chiefs. Because at that point, Mahomes didn't have to do anything.
You're not wrong. I feel like it's gonna be a. I want it to be, kind of like that Denver Broncos Seattle Super Bowl, and they just get the break.
They just gave the MVP to the defense, but like they had to give it to one player, so they just gave it to the best defensive player they had.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that's what happened. I'm really hoping.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, but
it might. It might.
It
Brady,
could,
hasn't looked good this postseason. So
no, he hasn't. He's looked pretty shaky at times.
So hopefully he throws 7 interceptions. And
it went down from 22
times.
to okay, yeah, so okay.
Probably realistic. 22 seems a lot. So 7 interceptions. 6 of those 7 will be pick sixes. Fumbles 3 times. 2 of them get returned. And yeah, that's my prediction for the game. If you want to take these bets, see what the odds makers are saying. I don't know, but I'm 100% sure that's what's gonna happen.
We only have a couple days to find out, so we'll see.
Place those bets.
I'm gonna listen to this audio afterwards because I want to react to your hot take. After
I
the
think it's a hot take. I think it's a cold take. A lot of people having the same take as I do.
Cold, like really cold, like dead.
Yeah, like everybody says it. Is it even a hot take anymore? It's just like a regular take. People have that take.
See, but everybody's all over the place with this game, so like anything could still be a hot take.
I guess, but at the end of the day, let's go Chiefs. And let's go Patriots.
Right. So,
and let's go Mac Jones.
Moving, yes, to those last two. Moving on from the Super Bowl, just kind of staying in the realms of sport just a little longer. What do you see in the NBA? Do you honestly think the Lakers can go back to back, or do you think there's someone in the West that can stop them, or is it going to be somebody in the East? And if it's in the East, is it going to be the Brooklyn Nets?
So in the realm of the basketballs, I don't know, man. Utah has been looking really good. They've been balling out of their minds as of late. I know they had like a 12-game win streak. Yeah, but before that they had like a 12-game win streak, something crazy. I still think the Lakers are the favorites out west.
Which is crazy because it's like I'm pretty sure they're the third seed in the West right now.
Yeah.
I know for a fact the Clippers right now have the best record, I think.
No, Utah's still number one in the West.
Oh, so Utah's still number one? Okay, yeah. So Utah and then Clippers and then Lakers. Ridiculous that Lakers are still the favorites. I mean,
they're
loaded. Makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
They get themselves Montrezl Harrell, they get themselves Marc Gasol, they get themselves Dennis Schroeder. They got a fucking squad from top to bottom. It's not fair.
Do you think there's a team in the East that can beat the Nets down the stretch?
My personal opinion, this is what I picked even before they got James Harden, was Brooklyn was going to come out the East this year. Now with James Harden, I still feel like Brooklyn is coming out the East.
Okay, because obviously their defense has taken a hit, but their offense is just through the roof.
Their defense did take a hit, but I feel like I said this a million times. They just need them to get themselves a big. I don't know what's going on with that Andre Drummond situation, but there was a rumor that he's going to get bought out, and one of his destinations is Brooklyn. So we'll see if they can make that work for Drummond. Defensively, they need to do something, but also, I mean, they beat the Clippers. They played the Clippers. It was a great game. I don't know if you watched it, but it was a really, really good game.
It was a really good game.
Big three balled out, and it's just how do you stop those three guys? I don't think there's a team in the league that can. You know what I mean? So,
but that's the thing, because it's like if let's say Kyrie has an off night, you still got KD and Harding.
You got the two best scorers in the game on one team.
And the thing is, any one of those players can carry the team at any point and drop 50.
And KD's a solid defender when inspired. He can play defense. Andre Drummond is a legit shot blocker. Is a good one. Yeah. Harden sometimes when he wants to can too. And when Kyrie brings his intensity, he can be a pest on defense. But I mean, out east, I don't think there's anybody that can beat them. Can they beat the Lakers in a 7-game series? I don't know. Just the way the matchups are. I
feel like it'll at the very least it will be much more interesting than what we got last year with the Heat.
Definitely. I mean, the Heat was just a nice story to see them in there.
Yeah, it was great to see them in the finals.
Looking out east, I mean, Philadelphia has problems. Even though Embiid's having an MVP caliber season. I mean, Milwaukee, I feel, got worse. They lost so many pieces. I
feel bad for the freak, man. He should have left.
He should have. You lose Drew Bledsoe. Granted, you get Holiday, but I don't know. It's not the same. Bledsoe was just so explosive off the bench. You lose George Hill. You lose Robin Lopez. You lose. I think they lost like 5 guys off that team. Wes Matthews is another one, huge defensive wing off the bench that they lost to the Lakers. And some other people. So they lost a lot of depth on that team. And I don't know. I was talking to one of my friends about this. I don't see the Milwaukee coming out the East. Philly looks good right now. They're the number 1 seed. Boston is playing weird this year. They're only 2 games above 500. Granted, all of this is still early, so anything could happen in basketball.
Very early,
but
yeah.
Something about Boston just doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is. That's just me.
I feel like Eastern Conference Finals is gonna be Knicks versus Nets, and unfortunately, the Knicks are just not gonna be able to. They're not gonna be able to outscore the Nets.
You know what's weird though, with how bad the East has been so far? The Knicks can really take the 5th seed.
They really can. We
really can take the 5th seed. That's how bad it is. And if we get Zach LaVine, you know what I'm saying? That'd be nice. I doubt it'll happen. But I feel like Chicago's playing so bad.
Play? I'm just saying, why nobody want to come play in New York?
I mean, we got to trade for Zach. And I don't know if we have the assets to get Zach right now. We'd have to give him 1st-round draft picks, obviously. And James Harden kind of set the market on that. So, with all the fucking picks they got for James, now teams are going to be expecting that for guys like Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine, people that want to leave, but are kind of like stuck on that team. But I don't know
but you with Harden, you also got a former MVP who was who led, the NBA in scoring for the last couple of years. So I feel like it's a little different, but yeah, they're gonna expect at least first round picks. Which
Bradley
the
Beal's
thing
young,
is,
and Bradley Beal's averaging 35 points a game this year.
well, I'm talking. Yeah,
Like he's gotta, you're gonna have to give up multiple firsts for Bradley Beal.
I would see. The thing is, I kind of would do it just because of the fact that, like, those picks aren't always going to work out. I mean, how many, especially for the Knicks, how many first round picks have we wasted? Think about all the first round picks that the Lakers had
That are all gone, but
that
are all ballers.
They just didn't work out for them, though.
I mean, they didn't because the Lakers, like most big market teams, are a win now team. They didn't want to wait, so you traded them all away. You freed up cap space. You got LeBron, got Anthony Davis. You got what you wanted. You got a win now team. So I mean, had they waited, it would have panned out. I'm pretty sure Julius Randle's a baller. Clarkson is balling now. You see him on Utah. He's fucking balling. Lonzo, I don't know what's going on, Lonzo. Who else was on that team? D'Angelo Russell was on that team.
D'Angelo Russell was on that team.
Had a bunch of young guys that could ball, but they just didn't have the patience for it. They want to win now. Cool. And that's the same thing that'll end up happening with the Knicks.
You think the Knicks are in a win now situation?
The franchise wants. I don't know if I mean, it's the franchise. It's the fans. Will they be patient enough to let this develop? And that's where, if you get a guy like Zach LaVine, you're not instantly a contender. You know what I mean? So you kind of want as many first round draft picks because you're probably not going to be good. You need to put some more pieces around Zach. Do you keep Julius Randle? There's a lot of questions with the Knicks.
I feel like I could wait another year or two before the desperation hits again, because now it's fun watching Knicks basketball again.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's fun watching. I mean, for the past couple of years, it's just been painful. Now it's like you feel like you can kind of come into any game and win. So you see the development already happening. So I feel like I could, as a Knicks fan, I could wait another year or two. We've gone through so many years of just terrible management and terrible just play that at this point, I want to be set up for the future. I don't want to, don't get me wrong. If there was a way to get a chip this year, do everything in your power to get that chip, because, we need a chip in New York.
I like the Zach LaVine move. I just don't want us to give up too much.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
the Tibbs effect.
He's not even on the market yet. Everybody's just been monitoring the Zach LaVine situation. But if you can get rid of these young guys that for some reason don't look like they're gonna pan out, like Kevin Knox, I don't see it. I don't see it either. Frank, obviously, I never saw it with Frank, but they're like, be patient with him. I still don't see it. They need to take him behind the stadium and shoot him. Who else do they have that's young on that team? Dennis Smith Jr. is another guy he just went to the G League. Trade these guys away. They're young. They have some sort of upside. Maybe you can get something for them. I don't know if that's the kind of package that Chicago would like, but package them up, maybe a first or two, and try to get some
maybe
talent
that's
here.
Enough. Yeah.
Or trade Obi Toppin too. I don't see it in Obi Toppin either. No offense to Obi, I don't see it. I've seen him in a couple games. Granted, but that's the thing. He's also 22, so he's not like he's this young guy out of college. You know what I mean? He's developed in a sense because he stayed the extra years. But I don't see it with Obi. Emmanuel quickly steal of the draft. The kid has been balling out of his mind lately.
Is balling.
Had a rough game, I think, last night. But other than that, there's been balling. So that's your guard.
He's the most popular. I was saying something that it was just you have KD, Kyrie, and Harden all playing ball in New York, and the most popular baller is Emmanuel quickly right now.
Yeah, because people want. I mean, the city belongs to the Knicks. You know what I mean? It doesn't
Of
belong to
course.
the Nets. No matter how good they will be, Knicks are still gonna dominate the pages here. All right. If RJ Barrett can get more consistent, that'd be nice too. But that's another story for
That would
another
be great.
time. He's averaging 18 points a game. Not bad.
It's not.
He better though.
It's just there's days that the
He
reason
doesn't
why
show
it's
up.
only 18 is because he doesn't show up some days.
Julius
It would be a lot higher.
should be an all-star this year. He's balling out of his mind.
Now, here's the question: would you trade Julius for
Zach LaVine.
something like Zach LaVine? Like, would you package Julius in there? Because Julius is he's older.
I mean,
And I don't-
he's like 24, 25. He's not even that old.
Yeah, but do you think his upside is as good as Zach LaVine's upside?
I'm pretty sure those two might be the same age. It depends what you want to do, because Julius, I believe, has the team option. I don't know if the Knicks are inclined to pick it up, but I know he has a team option. It depends. I think Zach LaVine signed for a good 3 more years after this. So if you trade for Zach, you will have him for at least 3 more years. I don't know what the Knicks
And then
want to
with
do,
that,
man.
it's. I
And
mean,
that's what
I
gets
feel like
confusing with Julius's contract. The guy's playing out of his mind. You got the option on him. Are you going to pick it up? Do you think Julius is a future piece you want to build around? Because that's a nice little
the
1-2
question.
punch. Julius and Zach LaVine with RJ, that's a nice little 3-piece you have right there.
Yeah, and
And
then
you
if
got
Emmanuel
Quickly, exactly.
is playing the same way,
If you can trade away
and we'll
Peyton
see
too.
what.
Peyton's another guy that you can probably package in a deal. Send him away in that. Quickly becomes your starter. Quickly, Zach LaVine, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle as your starting 5.
That actually sounds.
Granted, this is all hypothetical,
that
but
sounds really
that's.
good. I mean, that sounds
solid.
really good.
And you still have depth on the bench, because you'll have Alec Burks coming off the bench. You still have Obi Toppin will still be there. You still have Nerlens Noel, so you still have depth, but you get rid of these young guys who aren't getting any burn. Will it happen? Probably not. And Reggie Bullock is another guy. That's your 3-and-D guy. So you'll have a ridiculous amount of depth. Get rid of all these young guys that are just taking up space on the bench. Throw in a first-round draft pick or 2. Get a guy like Zach LaVine. You pick up Julius option next year. See if you still have money left over to put some more pieces around that team. I think you still have RJ Barrett on his rookie deal for the next 2 years.
And then obviously,
See what you can do.
Like Quickly and Toppin would be on those rookie contracts
Rookie
for a
deal
while
as
too.
well.
Because the thing is, like, I feel like Obi just needs a little more time. I don't know. I'm not jumping off yet. I don't see it. But like, there's times, little like moments where he's shown, just a little bit of something there that I'm just like, if he could just kind of like grab a hold of that. But we'll see.
But you also still have Taj Gibson too. I forgot you. So I mean, if they do make this move, which I don't think they will, but if it does happen, throw these young guys away. You'll have depth. You can probably get a 5th seed or 6th seed, which, like I said, I don't know what money's going to look like. With Zach, and if you pick up Julius's option, those are 2 big contracts, like 25 to 30 million each for both those guys. What money will look like if you can add another piece going into next year, because if you finish 5th seed, that'll be attractive to free agents. Okay, the Knicks are finally doing something correcally. You know what I mean?
It's such a big market.
Exactly.
Like, it's the biggest market still.
So
like, we haven't won. We haven't been in the playoffs the last couple of years. We haven't won in the playoffs in the last in longer, and it's like we're still the biggest market.
So I mean, if that happens, then maybe we can get a decent sized little piece to put around that, and you're looking at a solid team. But
now the question is, would all of that still be enough to beat the Nets?
I don't.
Because again, the Knicks are. I'm not sure if they still are, but for number 1 defense in the league.
Yeah. At one point I'm pretty sure we still are.
So it's like, does that stack up to the offense that the Nets
in this
have
hypothetical
displayed?
World where we have Zach LaVine, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and Emmanuel Quickly? That's a starting lineup.
That's the starter, and then
The Nets
on
have
the
been running
bench
this
we have.
weird small lineup lately that I don't like, where they put Harris at the 3, KD at the 4/5, and Jeff Green at the 4/5, which I don't like that lineup. It looks stupid. Size wise, we got him. We'll get a lot of interior points. I don't know if we. I don't know. It's tough. It's just the scoring on that team. I don't know if we'll have the star power.
That's the thing.
Be a fun matchup though.
But
I'd like to see it.
I mean, this is all hypothetical, of course, but it'd be nice to see.